Welcome back to Mike Briggs and Athena. Mike is out gallivanting in the tower. I don't know if you heard what he said earlier. I mean, we were texting back and forth and calling each other last night. He doesn't even remember. So he's probably playing his pub quiz right now. I could tell that this gentleman has a great sense of humor. It's Ken not Workentin.
Workentin is how my family pronounces it, yeah.
Ken Workentin from the Valley Center of the Blind, everybody. Woo!
Hey, hey.
And he also brought this guy, Ricky Bravo. I don't know if he's going to be on the air with us, but he sounds like a movie star. And looks like one, too. Okay, so we were just talking about your background. You're from Fresno.
Correct.
You have 4 daughters.
I do.
And tell us the age ranges again.
My oldest is 23. I have a 22-year-old. I have a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Your house must be like, I mean, no wonder why you have a great sense of humor. There must be a lot of drama.
You can't take much seriously, yeah. Lots of drama.
Fighting over the bathroom.
Lots of patience. Oh, fighting over everything. Clothes, makeup, you got it.
But you know what? Things get better. You probably went through like a rough part of like junior high. Girls get a little catty and stuff like that, and they're probably a lot better now. Are they?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you go with that.
I just can't,
I love my girls.
I know
They're good
people
girls.
that have
Good
3
girls.
boys, 4 boys, but 4 daughters. God bless you.
I had lots of help because my oldest sister has 4 girls and my second sister has 3 girls. So my parents had 11 granddaughters, no grandsons.
No grandsons?
And I tried. I really did. That's why I have 4. I really tried
God.
hard.
Well, now, we were just talking about like in vitro and the embryos and stuff. Maybe you should have done that, paid $20,000 to have your embryos frozen.
Well, if I wouldn't have had the 4 girls, I might have been able to afford that, but
it's tough.
It's going to have to wait.
Okay, so tell me the story about your 23-year-old and why you work for the Valley Center of the Blind, and she was in a car accident?
Well, actually, it was my at the time, she was 15. Shayla,
okay.
My daughter Shayla,
Okay.
and she was a student at Bullard. She was in her sophomore year.
Okay.
And my oldest daughter was behind the wheel of the car. They were stopped at an intersection close to home, and they were waiting for the light to turn red, and a man in a truck forgot to stop and ran into the back of the car.
Wow.
And so my daughter Shayla was in the back seat, and it was a impact that basically caused her to lose her eyesight.
Because she hit her head. Because sometimes when you hit your head or certain parts of the body,
she was partially ejected out of the rear windshield.
Wow.
And the roof of the car was impaled into her skull.
Oh my
and
God.
she wasn't supposed to live, or they didn't think they should leave, but we spent a little over 2 months in the hospital, and we had some wonderful doctors and a lot of prayer.
Yeah.
And she is currently in her 2nd year at Fresno State.
Wow, that is so awesome.
So yeah.
Was she flown to Children's Hospital? Is that where she was when she was recouping and recovering?
Her what they call her rehabilitation was at Children's, but
Okay.
she was at the critical care unit at Community Hospital.
At Community,
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Services. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because there's not a lot of trauma. For a long time, we didn't have a burn center and trauma center.
Right.
But we
have
always,
awesome facilities. Yes.
I can't even imagine how that felt as a parent. And is that why you work for the Valley Center of the Blind, because of what happened to Shayla?
Yes, yeah. We visited the center the year of her accident when she lost her sight. My wife and my girls didn't know anything about blindness.
Yeah.
I think I saw a couple blind people before, but
Yes.
that was the extent.
Yes. I see them actually right out of CentralValleyTalk.com, a lot of blind people that are taking the buses.
Yeah.
I see them a lot out here.
Yeah, transportation is a big issue for the blind.
Yes.
But
they have to take
yeah,
the
got
bus.
involved, and now I'm the executive director. Who would have known?
That is so cool. So what does the Valley Center of the Blind do for the blind?
Well, for the most part, we are there for them. Losing your eyesight is probably one of the scariest things that can happen in your life in forms of a disability.
Because you've had your eyesight for sometimes for most of your life, sometimes only 15, like your daughter.
And some are born without their sight. But it's still, for my daughter, she's walking around in total darkness, so when she makes her own way to Fresno State, it's like turning the lights out, no stars, no moonlight, and you're walking the streets and getting on buses and making your way around. So my hat's off to her. She's a brave girl, and I'm very proud of her.
Does she use a cane, or she doesn't need one?
She uses a cane, and we're in the process as she continues to adapt her skills, then she's going to apply for a dog. And once she qualifies for a guide dog, that'll be a good assistant for her as well.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And college campuses, do they allow guide dogs and stuff
Yes.
like that? I mean, most buildings and places
Everywhere,
do.
yeah. For guide dogs, yeah, they have to be allowed to go anywhere and everywhere with their owners.
I can't even imagine what your daughter went through. Like, how do you figure out how to get to point A, point B, put peanut butter on bread? You know what I mean? Just
Right.
like simple things that we all take advantage of.
Right.
How did she?
Well,
do that?
that's what we help teach her. You eventually you adapt to not using your eyes, and you use your ears and your touch.
Yeah.
I would say your smell, but she lost her smell in the accident as well. It wiped out her olfactory nerve, so she can't smell, she can't see.
She can hear.
She can hear.
And
She's
I
got
heard
20% of her taste, because 80% of our taste comes from our smell. So
Okay.
she still can taste the difference between salt and sweet and
Okay,
sour and
that's
bitter.
good. That's very good. So yeah, because I did hear that. I had an aunt that was blind, but she used to babysit us. And my brother and I, we were so horrible because as kids we're like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. She's a blind aunt.
Right.
She's not going to see anything. Tee-hee-hee, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
She had the best, the best hearing. She could hear. I remember we were acting up and doing something, like staying up all night, and she said, I can hear you.
Yeah.
She said, just because I'm blind, I have like 200% hearing.
Right.
so I don't know if your daughter has that, because you have to learn your other senses,
Yes,
to deal with things.
Right. Well, and just like Braille. I mean, even with her, the first time she tried to feel Braille dots, she's like, "There's no way I can't feel the difference between
yeah.
these little tiny dots."
Yeah, 'cause
but
it's
now
dot,
she
dot,
can read
dot.
Braille.
Wow.
So the doctors say that when we rely on it, that we all have the ability to do it. We think, "No way could I ever," but
Yeah.
our brains are pretty amazing.
And that's what she does. So how does she communicate with people? I want to say,
How does she do
Helen-
Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of
Yes,
stuff? With
yes.
With ease.
Or
That's
even-
what we teach. The iPhone was revolutionary for the blind community. I mean, she can work her iPhone as good as anyone, probably better than most.
Now, how? Because does it have like Braille and things and how does she do that?
It talks to you. Yeah,
it
and
talks
every
to you,
iPhone
that's
has that
true.
capability. You turn on your accessibility, it's called VoiceOver.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend you do it, because if you get it, you might not be able to get it off.
You know what? It comes up. Oh, my phone's dead, but it'll come up like an ask. It's like a woman. What's her name?
Siri.
Yeah, Siri.
Yeah.
Like Siri, or someone comes up by mistake, and I can't get rid of her.
Right.
But that helps out blind
Oh yeah,
people.
yeah. No, it's amazing what they can do. And she uses a
Wow.
computer. She uses a laptop. So we're used to looking at the screen visually and watching television with our eyes, but
Yes.
she does it with her ears, and the screen readers talk to her. And it's quite a learning curve, but that's what we do at Valley Center for the Blind. We teach people who can't see to be able to live as independently as possible.
Wow.
So to be able to butter your own bread and to be able to
Right.
iron your own clothes, she puts on her own makeup, does her own hair, unless we'll do it for her. She, of course, who doesn't want somebody else to put on your makeup for you?
Exactly.
and
I would be like, please.
pamper- Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, she no, it's amazing. Most of my staff are blind.
Wow.
And so when you hear about the blind leading the blind,
Yeah.
it's not a joke. Because if you were blind,
You're
would you
funny.
want to be told you could do something by a sighted person, or would you want somebody who actually can't see be telling you can do this because I can do this?
That's true.
Right.
I'd rather have that. I remember I worked with a guy in radio. He just wanted to be on the radio so bad, and it was great because, he was just like, no one can see me. I'm the voice of radio, blah, blah, blah. He was, this was in New York City. And I remember running into him on the subway. All these people, New York City, you got probably like what? It's like India, like 1 billion people.
Right.
And we're on the subway, and I see him. I'm like, oh my God, Nick. And I didn't say, oh my God, you're blind. You know what I mean? Because we
Yeah,
were friends.
yeah.
I'm like, you're in New York City on a subway. How do you know how to get to point A, point B? He's like, New York City is a great city for the blind because I just get on the subway. I know. I ask people. I listen.
Very accessible. Yeah, the larger cities. Fresno, we're still
Right.
working on
Yeah.
Fresno. It takes a lot of budget. So
Yeah.
so I understand, but there's a lot of ways that we could improve.
Well, transportation sucks here.
Yeah.
In California in general.
Right.
You really have to hop on a bus or a cab. Obviously, your daughter doesn't drive, so it's like. does
Yet. The Google car, it's coming.
So
We
you
have
can,
hope.
You're kidding me. So wait, so blind people are going to be able to drive
Scary,
with
huh?
the Google?
Yeah, well, I hope so, but
I've
I mean-
seen The woman that got arrested, she had like Google glasses. Do you remember her? There was like this big court case. She almost had like a visor with Google.
Okay.
But there were Google glasses
All right.
or a Google like visor.
Uh-huh.
And she wasn't blind. I think she wanted to like GPS and do stuff, so she was like that driving.
Okay, yeah.
And she got a ticket.
Okay.
And she fought it, and I think she won. But that would be a cool thing for the blind too.
You know how all the new features in the cars have that, where it brakes for you. You know, if you don't see something, it does it for you. Well, more and more cars are becoming computerized, and so pretty soon, I think any of us will just get in the car and we'll tell it, take me to so and so, and it'll take you, and you won't have to do anything. So yeah, that'll give the blind an opportunity to drive. And when they first started showing the Google car, they showed a blind man actually getting around. So yeah, someday. We're not quite there, but I'm hoping.
I'm going to have to Google a lot of stuff, including your daughter. So in honor of Shayla and other people that either just became blind for some medical thing or an accident or whatever, how do people find you, and what's your phone number, Ken? So they
Well,
can
we're
call you and
located
stuff.
here in Fresno on Shaw Avenue. We're close. We're just east of the underpass near Marks.
Like when you're heading towards Shaw 99. Like,
Correct,
well, I
yeah.
guess it depends on which direction you are, but West Shaw, okay.
Right, and we have a website that we've just recently launched a website. We're still kind of getting it up to speed, but it's www.valleycenterfortheblind.org.
www.valleycenterfortheblind.org.
Correct. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's it. And so we are a nonprofit, and so we rely heavily on donations. So anyone out there that's blessed and has a little despair, boy, you could sure throw it our way.
Sure.
And we would invite.
I mean, just hearing your story, I would love to donate.
Sure, and we're open, because anyone that wants to come and take part in viewing the services that we do, come on down. If you want to
really
volunteer, it's great. I mean, it's an awesome experience. It's a blessing.
And you have an event coming up in October. I know it's a couple months away.
Well, we're working on what's called White Cane Day, which is a national celebration or a blind awareness.
Okay.
And we're currently working on a march where we're going to do from Fresno State to probably around Shaw Avenue.
Cool.
And so, yeah, if some people would like to participate, you can call and talk to our marketing man, Ricky Bravo, and he will give you the details on how you can be a volunteer, help out with that, get involved. We'd love to have you.
Ricky Bravo. Who wouldn't want to call Ricky Bravo the movie star? Ken, you're awesome. I would love to meet your daughter Shayla sometime, because
Anytime
she
you
sounds like an unbelievable woman.
I know I like her.
Yeah, I bet 4 daughters. Guys, crazy.
Pray for me.
We will. All right, so do it. Give us a website again before we go.
www.valleycenterfortheblind.org.
valleycenterfortheblind.org. So check it out, or go visit them. It sounds like an awesome place.
Come on down.
Coming up next, we'll drag Mike from the bathroom and do something wild and crazy on CentralValleyTalk.com.